How did one advisory firm go from 200 million in AUM to 2 billion in under 5 years? I'm going to share 4 takeaways from a Michael Kitces Success podcast where he interviews James Bogart of Bogart Wealth, and they discuss the exact things that James did to make this happen. This podcast is almost 2 hours long, but it was so valuable I wanted to summarize it and really have a few key takeaways that I wrote down to hopefully save you some time. And if it is of interest, if you listen to this and then you find it interesting, I'd encourage you to listen to the whole thing. It's episode 243, and it's the Kitces Financial Advisor Success Podcast. So it starts off by sharing how James and his team did this, and then what were the main reasons behind his growth. And the first point he made, the word that came up the most in the first few minutes of the interview, was that he focused on education. He said being educators is absolutely what caused a lot of the growth to start. So they focused on teaching and helping their target clients, but they had to do a few things before they were able to do this successfully. And one of those things that was essential was choosing that core group that they wanted to help. They narrowed really who they wanted to help, and then they focused on specific content that was very valuable to that target client or target prospect. And we've heard this before, and it's not a coincidence that some of the most successful advisors, they're able to choose their niche and focus on them before they start to see some of that growth. An absolute great way to increase your value is find what's most important to your target clients and then what their common problems are, and then just get really good at solving that problem for them. James said that by doing this, they ended up creating these custom solutions, which he called products, and they were unique to his clients and prospects. And having these multiple products that solve these multiple problems, really, James was able to increase the perceived value of their firm. And as a side note, if you're interested in learning how to use the advisor value formula to plug your services into it so you can increase your perceived value, check out the free training below. Another thing that James mentioned was one of the keys to his firm's success was that he focused on educating in a one-to-many technique. They didn't do just one-to-one meetings or even 1 to 30 dinner seminars. They spent time on something that was much more scalable, which was webinars that could be 1 to hundreds or 1 to thousands even. What it did was not only increase the number of prospective clients that they're helping at once, it really opened up the location of where their clients started coming from. Not long ago, they were localized, but once they started doing this one-to-many education practices, they opened up to people across the USA. And I can share firsthand the power of this one-to-many education. We started our Streamlined Financial YouTube channel not too long ago, and now the majority of our new clients we're working with are not in our state. Another thing that James mentioned that was very important to their success, and this is where I see a lot of advisors fail, is consistency. He was practicing this education and teaching others for years, but it took a few years of getting maybe okay results before things hit a tipping point for them. And the same thing happened for our YouTube channel, Streamlined Financial, because from May, we started it in May, to December, we had about 70 subscribers. So it took 8 months to get 70 subscribers. Then the following 8 months, we went from 70 to 6,000 subscribers. And then just 3 months after that, that doubled again to 12,000. Now, I know that one of the barriers to consistent content creation for advisors is just the lack of time. And because of this, I created a content system that I'm going to be sharing with a few select advisors. If you're interested in that, take a look at how you can get multiple pieces of content to use yourself to just save you that time of creating everything from scratch. The link is below. So the main points from the Kitces podcast are: number 1 was education. Number 2 was increasing your value by focusing on your niche. Number 3 was using that one-to-many technique. And then number 4 was just staying consistent. And if you're an advisor who's always looking to get better, subscribe so that you don't miss the next video, and then I'll see you there. Take care.